Hey everyone, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be my May wrap-up, aka we're going to review all the books that I've read and finished in the month of May, which is 6 books. I am also in the middle of a couple books that I've been actively reading. We're not going to address the ones I haven't. Let's go in order of the ones that I finished. The first one was Her Majesty's Royal Coven, which that was a recommendation by you because I've been requesting books, searching for books about modern witches. I feel like I like the idea of them, like think practical magic movie, you know? But every single one that I've read, I was just not invested in it, didn't really care about anything. And this is definitely the best one that I have read. It's not an all-time favorite. For some reason, I wasn't as invested emotionally as I wanted to, but I overall did enjoy it. Like I said, modern witches, modern coven of witches, kind of a the end of the world is going to happen. I like the magic system. Overall, I like the characters. I kind of wanted more maybe day-to-day life, if that makes sense. Like I wanted it to be even more wholesome. I think that's the thing. And that's a theme actually with some of the books that I've read this month. I feel like I want my wholesome books to be just day-to-day, which sounds kind of boring, but it's been something that I've been interested in. Anyway, overall enjoy this. Do get it. I wasn't sold on it in the beginning, but then there's a twist-ish that happens and I was like, okay, now I'm into it. And yeah, very progressive. And I think I'm gonna round it up to a 4, which might be a little generous, but I overall enjoyed it. I understand the hype and yeah, not bad at all. I finally read Geratia by Madeline Miller. I've been dying to read anything else by her. I know she was working on something else. I don't know when that's coming out, but I'm excited. So this was a good, you know, pick me up in between the wait. And it's the retelling of Pygmalion, which I don't know how you pronounce that in English, but this man, messed up man, decides to create this statue of a woman and she becomes alive and she's his wife and he's an awful person. And yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, my review on Goodreads is literally that I would happily read Madeline Miller's grocery list because she's just that great. Her writing, I love her, so nothing surprising here. I'm giving it a 5 stars even though it was really short, but I just love her message, love everything that she writes. And at the end there's this quote about incels, which I'll put close-up of it so you can read it. But yeah, I love her. I'll read anything by her at this point. By the way, if you're seeing kittens, it's early in the morning and they're absolutely insane right now. They've already been destroying everything in the room, so I'm just pretending they don't exist for a couple minutes. Next book, I finally finished a classic for the month of March, April for Patreon. I'm late. It was going to happen because, you know, life happened, but I enjoyed it. I hated the romance, okay? I couldn't stand, what's his face? Edmund. Doo-doo head. Okay, a doo-doo head. I feel like her romances, which all her books kind of are, even though they're social commentaries, but still, I only cared about Emma and Pride and Prejudice. Those romances, great. Everything else, not so much, and no different. He's a dum-dum. But I loved Fanny, which a lot of you were worried that I wasn't going to like her, but I did. I mentioned that I liked her stronger female characters, and I would consider her strong, okay? Don't worry, love her. But yes, it felt really long. I know my edition is like shorter, so it's like chubby. It's like almost 600 pages, but I've watched one adaptation. I want to try to watch a second one because, again, I couldn't stand Edmund, which I don't think you're supposed to really like him, but I wasn't happy with the ending because they end up together, and it's like, yeah, he sucked, but I liked Fanny. So yes, I think I'm gonna give it, I feel like 4 stars would be generous, but I might round it up to 4 stars. If I were to do a video reviewing all of her books, which I'm open to that, this wouldn't be the best, but it wouldn't be the worst. Like it probably would be like in 3rd or 4th place. So solid book by her, do recommend. Nothing can be worse than like Persuasion or Northanger Abbey. Hated those. But yeah, not bad. Good classic. Now, we go back to wholesome because I read Keeper of Enchanted Rooms, which this is what I meant by I wanted more day-to-day because this is a wholesome character-driven story, but at one point towards the end, there's like action. And I was like, no, who am I to feel like that? But seriously, who am I? I used to be all about the action, and now I'm like, I want wholesome, cozy vibes. And you get that here. It actually is set during the fall, but for some reason, for me, it gave me really strong spring vibes. I think it's because the main character kind of comes back to life, really. He inherits this magical home that he knew nothing about. He was rejected by his family, disowned, and he gets this house when I think it's his grandmother that passes away. And turns out the house is magical, and he gets locked in there, and then someone is sent there to just, you know, help him with the house, not knowing that he's stuck there. And there's a little bit of a romance, like I said, kind of wholesome, found family vibes. The magic system was interesting, and I believe the second book, someone told me the second book just came out in May. So I'm open to continuing. Not in a rush. I think I'm going to look at the reviews. If they're really positive, I'll pick it up. Otherwise, for me, this was like satisfying on its own. Definitely cute summer read for me. So yes, if you're looking for, again, wholesome, found family, magical fantasy, I feel like everyone has been looking for things that are similar to Legends and Lattes, which the second book is coming out later this year. This is a good alternative, like a good second one to pick up afterwards. So yeah, not bad, not amazing, but not bad. Then I decided to traumatize myself because I promised I would do it. And I read Planet Barbarians, which I vlogged it if you want to see the trauma. I will link that if you are interested. And this was kind of awful, like some of the worst writing I've ever read, yet I was very entertained. I mean, you do have to push through like at least the first 50 pages, if not like 100. And things get so funny that it's good for that. I refuse to call this good, okay? I can't do it, but very entertaining. I laughed a lot. I'm easily entertained, to be honest. I can laugh very easily, but this was so bad, and having to read it for the vlog made it funny, like really, really funny. I would recommend like buddy reading this during the summer if you have a friend and you want to read something awful, but so awful that it's funny. Read this. It's spicy. There is like an essay scene in the beginning and like some questionable consent in the beginning, and then it becomes about, I didn't tell you what it was about. This 22-year-old girl from Florida gets kidnapped by aliens. That's literally the first sentence of the book. And then that spaceship ends up crashing on a different planet where Planet Barbarians are. And yeah, sexy scenes, spicy book, and a lot of cringe. A lot of like, oh, my mate, my one, my, yeah. This is my first like smutty book on Booktube, and it was something. It was something. Yeah. Rating wise, I'm gonna give it 2.5 just because I laughed so much. But yeah, I feel like if I were to put this in my worst books of the year, I kind of did it to myself, first of all. And also it would be for the writing because, again, somewhat entertaining. I was asked if I was going to continue. If I'm in a reading slump, I feel like that would be good. But I'm not in a rush, okay? The original, my edition for some reason has a lot more content. The book is like 200 pages, so it's really a quick read. I read it in a day, and yeah, slightly traumatized, but I would do it again. And I just finished the audiobook, The Woman Could Fly, and this is also Modern Witches. I've been trying, and this one is almost a bit literary fiction. And it's an alternate version of a world where women are persecuted and they have to get married before they're 30, you know, gotta be in control of being controlled by men in your life, your father, your husband, whatever. And witches are a thing, or so we are told, as an excuse to be controlled. And you're following this woman, her mother disappeared years ago and she was, you know, suspected of being a witch, blah, blah, blah. So obviously everyone thinks that she is a witch too, or she will be. And things happen. I enjoyed the themes, I enjoyed the discussions, but I, once again, didn't feel super emotionally invested, which I find is often the case with literary fiction for me. I don't know if it's technically categorized as that, but the writing style gave me that vibe. I listened to it as an audiobook, so I feel like that makes it even more obvious for me, but I don't know how to rate this. I literally finished it as I was preparing this video. So, oh my God. Chunky. So yeah, it's definitely over 3, but I'm not sure it's over 4, you know? It's somewhere in the middle, so not bad. It was kind of short. It was like 9 hours of an audiobook. So yeah, I'm on the fence with it. I understand why the overall rating was kind of low for Goodreads, but it's interesting. So if you like, what's the expression in English? Not thought experiment, but like, it's fiction, but like a little close to reality kind of thing, I would recommend checking it out. The next 3 I am in the middle of. So the first one is a nonfiction because it is supposed to be one of my goals this year to read a lot of nonfiction like I did last year. And I'm kind of failing at this point. I kind of stopped after the first 2 months of the year. But I am in the middle of The Master's Tool Will Never Dismantle the Master's House, which is super short. So why did I not finish this? I don't know. I read 30 pages in one go and then failed to read the next 20. So I'll finish that next month, promise. Next, we have Beware of Chicken, which is the other wholesome fantasy. I've been reading a lot and I've been really enjoying them. I was kind of trying to find an alternative to Legends and Lattes. Maybe I'll do a video about it when I've read a couple good ones. But this one, for a shameful amount of time, I was in the middle of it and I'm now 86% into it. Okay, it's going to be done. It's telling me about an hour to finish it. So again, very early in June, it will be done. So if you have any other recommendations for wholesome books, please let me know. I've told you a million times what it is about, but just in case you're new here, you're following this man who is from our world that is sent to a magical version of ancient China, and he wakes up in the body of a monk, but decides to basically go away and become a farmer, and it's day-to-day life of magical farm stuff, and it's good. The humor is very juvenile, I will say that. For example, his rooster that is magical is called Big D, but otherwise it's overall good. I'm enjoying it. Again, very day-to-day life, which again for some reason has been entertaining to me. And then I am in the middle of a book that I've been dying to read. I'm supposed to be finishing series this year too. Don't know how I've been doing. Probably not well, to be honest. I'll probably do in June a how I'm doing with all my challenges. So we're gonna know for sure, but I know I'm not doing well. So I finally decided to continue I think it's the Tearling? The Fate of the Tearling series. And no, what is the series called? I'm not sure what the series is called, but The Queen of Tearling. So this third book is The Fate of the Tearling. This is the last book in the trilogy, and you can see I'm almost halfway through, and I have heard so many mixed reviews about the series in general, but especially the last book. A lot of people didn't like the ending, from what I've understood. Can't even speak. So I'm really nervous about it, but so far I'm actually really enjoying it. I think that one thing to know is that this isn't a normal adult fantasy. I feel like the first book is, and then it throws everyone in a loop because book 2 has a lot of a different genre. I'm keeping it somewhat vague. I can tell you in the comment section if you want, but might be a mild spoiler. But the third book is continuing that, and oh my gosh, you guys are so annoying. You guys are so annoying. It's like I gave you coffee or something. I did not. I definitely don't need it. But yes, it's a continuation of that, and so far I'm actually really enjoying it. So I'm like, why is everyone complaining about it? I guess I will find out, and so will you. In June. But yes, so far it's good. I love this color, by the way. This is exactly the color I will paint the wall of the other room. I'm gonna go to the store and be like, scan this. This is what I want. Ochre. Underrated color. I'm enjoying the magical world. I'm enjoying the main character. A lot of political intrigue and magic. So it's great so far. So that's kind of what's been going on for the month of May. I am, like I said, kind of failing at a bunch of challenges, but I'm reading. 6 book is not a ton for me, but I feel like I've been in danger of a reading slump and I'm not feeling slumpy-ish anymore. So we're hoping that summer is going to be great. Actually, I'll link down below. or on the screen, I did a summer TBR, kind of giving you an idea of what I'm thinking of reading in the upcoming months, so you can do the same or give me suggestions. And yeah, I'll put that on screen and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Ooh, don't forget to tell me the best books you have read this month. I want to know.